What if I told you that divers recently found a shipwreck where everyone inside was still breathing after 30 years underwater? This isn't science fiction. This is the terrifying reality of Shipwreck 66, and what they discovered down there defies everything we know about death itself. Picture this: crystal clear Caribbean waters 70 feet down, where the passenger liner Meridian Star sits perfectly preserved on the ocean floor. When the dive team first descended in March, they expected to find the usual remains of a maritime disaster, skeletal fragments, maybe some personal belongings scattered by decades of current. What they found instead will haunt them forever. The ship looked wrong from the outside, too intact, too pristine, like it had sunk yesterday, not in 1995, but nothing prepared them for what waited inside those flooded corridors. Bodies, hundreds of them, still seated at dining tables, still clutching handrails, still positioned exactly where they were when the ship went down 3 decades ago. Here's where it gets absolutely terrifying. These weren't decomposed remains. These were perfectly preserved human beings with one impossible detail: their hearts were still beating, not the slow, erratic pulse of hypothermia victims, strong, steady heartbeats, rhythmic, alive. The lead diver's footage shows passengers with their eyes wide open, staring into nothing. Their clothes moved gently with the current, but their bodies remained motionless, frozen in time yet somehow, impossibly, still functioning. When divers checked for pulses, every single person showed vital signs. 67 passengers and 12 crew members, all technically alive after 30 years of submersion. Marine biologists are baffled. The human body cannot survive underwater for more than minutes without oxygen. Yet somehow, these people exist in a state between life and death that science cannot explain. Their lungs should be filled with seawater. Their tissues should have decomposed decades ago. Instead, they appear suspended in some nightmarish form of underwater hibernation. The most disturbing discovery came when divers attempted to move one of the bodies. The passenger's head turned slowly toward them, eyes tracking their movement. No other response. No attempt to communicate or escape. Just that terrible, aware gaze following them through the murky water. Local authorities have sealed off the area, citing safety concerns, but leaked reports suggest something far more sinister. Temperature readings around the wreck show impossible variations. Electronic equipment malfunctions. Compasses spin wildly. Whatever force keeps these people suspended between life and death seems to affect the very laws of physics in that underwater tomb. The most chilling detail: passenger manifests show the ship was carrying experimental medical equipment bound for a research facility. Equipment designed to preserve human tissue indefinitely. Whether this technology somehow activated during the sinking or whether something far more supernatural occurred remains unknown. Shipwreck 66 has been declared off-limits to civilian divers. The official reason is structural instability. The real reason might be far more terrifying, because somewhere beneath those Caribbean waters, 67 people continue their eternal wait, breathing water like air, hearts beating in perfect rhythm, trapped forever between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. What would you do if you encountered something that challenged everything you believed about life and death?